Here are 7 exciting Coronation Street spoilers for next week, including a welcome reunion, a flat smashed up, and some dodgy dealings. Don't go anywhere. Spoiler 1, Brody gets revenge on Kit. Brody listens to a message from his dad and soon takes his anger out on Kit by smashing up his flat. He then tells Kit that he's spoken to his dad and he's certain he's innocent and it's a police stitch-up. Kit tells Brody that the evidence points to Mick, but Brody won't listen to what Kit has to say, shoving him into a wall. Sarah and Bernie soon turn up at the flat just as Brody runs out with his hoodie covering his face. Spoiler 2, Brody's protected. Lisa informs Kit that Bernie's given Brody an alibi. Kit's furious, knowing he has to either tell Lisa he was mistaken or charge Bernie with perverting the course of justice. Bernie then reminds Kit that Brody is a part of their family. Kit then admits to Sarah that Brody might be his son. Kit then tells Brody he'll withdraw the burglary charge if he stays out of trouble. Brody's baffled as to why Bernie gave him an alibi and quizzes her. Will she tell all? When Lou visits Mick ahead of his hearing, Mick tells her that Kit organised to have him beaten up and he'll do it again if he doesn't plead guilty. Lou returns home and tells Brody that Mick pleaded not guilty, but what will this mean for the family? Spoiler 3, Gary and Lou bond. With Maria firing Lou from the salon, Lou apologises for Mick giving him a beating. She then opens up to him over the abuse she's received at the hands of Mick over the years. Gary softens and buys Lou a drink, but Maria catches them chatting in the pub. What will she make of this situation? And someone suspects their ex-partner has been playing away in our next spoiler. Spoiler 4, Ronnie questions Debbie's love life. Ronnie introduces Debbie to his old flame Fiona. Debbie pretends she's not fussed about Ronnie meeting up with his friend, but she then tries to get revenge by suggesting she's got a new boyfriend. Carl then warns Ronnie that Debbie wants nothing to do with him and bans him from setting foot in the hotel. Spoiler 5, Carl's dodgy dealings. Fiona asks Ronnie to sell a stolen car and Ronnie tries his best but stops the sale when the guy he sells to reveals his wife recently died. Ronnie tells Fiona the guy wasn't interested, with Carl then climbing in the car and quizzing Ronnie. Later on in the week, Abby's not happy to find out that Kevin's given Carl a job at the garage. When Kev and Abby leave, Carl picks up the phone and calls Fiona. He then accepts a delivery of a dodgy car. Spoiler 6, Brian's banned. Eileen admits to George and Brian that the painkillers found in Julie's system were her medication and not Julie's. Brian then makes a remark that leads Eileen to banning him from attending Julie's funeral. George tries to support Eileen but doesn't know how it's best to be there for her. And finally, spoiler 7, Jason's back. At Julie's wake, Eileen gives Brian a letter, but he then confronts her over Julie's life insurance policy and the fact that she's the only beneficiary but failed to mention it. Tracy makes out that Eileen killed Julie to get her money, as Eileen turns on George and blames him for Julie's funeral being ruined. And there's more chaos as Theo recognises a guy called Noah turn up who was present at his conversion therapy. The mourners all gather to play Julie's dream game, but Eileen's left with food for thought as George admits that his dream is to marry her. Before she can respond to George, Eileen's distracted by the arrival of Jason. George waits for Eileen's answer though. What will it be? And if you enjoyed this week's Coronation Street spoilers, subscribe so you can come back next week for more Weatherfield news.